It's summertime, and you know what that means, guys? It means if you're a hijabi, you're going to be really hot. Probably asking the age-old question about how to dress for the summer without melting. You might also find yourself trying to get creative with eating in some of these contraptions because, this is what freedom looks like to these women, trying to eat messy chicken wings under a niqab. Today, I'm going to take you guys on a wild ride through some of the most absurd hijabi fashion trends I have been seeing lately. So grab a snack and your favorite drink, get comfortable, and get ready to laugh and roll your eyes with me because this is about to get really nutty. Let's get into it. Houdini picnic chic. Whatever suffocating, melting in your modesty look you're going for this summer, Muslima Couture's got you covered. Literally. I really mean literally too. In so many of her looks, every inch of her body is covered. Even a woman's eyes, her hands. When I was a Muslim, I used to buy a lot from UK-based clothing companies like Medina Paris. What I'm going to share with you from Muslima Couture's page is very similar in terms of style and looks, but I've noticed since I've left Islam that a lot of these modest clothing companies have become more extreme and advanced in terms of what they offer. Let's start with the first look. I have so many questions here. This should be like an eighth wonder of the world. How in the heck she not only managed to film all of this, but why she would want to put herself through this. Imagine yourself on a picnic outside in a beautiful spring weather, and you need to literally create a tent out of what you're wearing. Completely Houdini style disappear inside of it, and then proceed to eat your chicken wings while filming yourself doing it. You can't make this up, guys. This is being marketed to women as some sort of life hack. She's claiming that by going to this extent to eat pizza and chicken wings, that she is getting alone time. Notice how she's on her phone inside of the jilbab, filming all of this with another device to prove to us that she's having a great time in there. To be honest, if this is what you need to do to have alone time, I am really concerned for you and what is happening in your life. When I want alone time outside, I can just walk to a park, dressed in the same way I am dressed inside of the house, and then I can find a bench and just sit and relax. I don't need to go camping inside of my clothes to eat or drink. Speaking of camping inside of your clothes and eating, this might be showing my age, but does anyone remember this? Trying to function in this outfit kind of reminds me of the Snuggie parody. The Snuggie was this wearable blanket that was released around 2009.
Introducing the Snugger, the full-body blanket that covers you completely from head to toe. Perfect for reading a book, enjoying a snack, and outdoor sporting events. Now your body is snug and warm.
This was during the day of TV infomercials, and so many people took it upon themselves to make fun of this absurd invention. By the way, did you also notice those apartments in the background? I couldn't help but wonder if she lived there, because if she did, the real peace and serenity would be just staying home, not even bothering to leave the house if this is what you have to go through to eat pizza and chicken wings. This entire scenario she's created for herself is honestly so anxiety-inducing to me. I feel claustrophobic just thinking about the amount of energy I'd need to get dressed like this, leave the house, and then set up camp inside of what I'm wearing and eat messy food like pizza and chicken wings. The blind book reader. Everyone knows modest fashion always has functionality in mind. So if you're looking for a good outfit to read a book in this summer, look no further than this ensemble.
I now identify as invisible. Although I was born visible, I am now transparent. My pronouns are who, where.
From a marketing perspective, what is she trying to show us here? There's no doubt that there is no reading happening in an outfit that makes you completely blind like this. I mean, if I want to be charitable, maybe there is some sort of extremely vague ability to see in this. There should be a disclaimer for outfits like these in a description. You know how some medications will say things like, do not operate heavy machinery and may impair judgment? The same should apply for advertising clothes like this. Honestly, guys, this is not safe to wear even when you're on a leisurely walk down a street. This literally leaves you vision impaired, blind, and we for sure know there is no such thing as reading a book in this outfit. Coercing your child into sweating too. What fun would it be to dress like this without roping your children into this? After all, they're going to eventually be serving a life sentence to wearing this, so the indoctrination should be starting as soon as possible. Let's take a look at what modest summer fashion has to offer a 5-year-old girl who might want to emulate mom, but has no idea that this is actually not a choice, but a life sentence.
باقة تتبع أخرى موكبا فاح أريجا باقة تتبع أخرى موكبا فاح أريجا أوراقا.
You know what? This does make me uncomfortable, yes. My daughter is 7 now, and there is no way in hell she'd ever listen to me and wear this. Extreme modesty on a child is something to be uncomfortable about, because it sends a message about the way this society views a child's private body, that it needs to be covered up. I wish these women would honestly leave their kids alone and let them decide for themselves when they're adults. When you claim you're dressing your child like this under the guise of getting them used to it, what you're saying is you're trying to brainwash them into giving you little to no resistance to permanently wearing this one day. I've come to realize that Islam is not a religion that values the concept of childhood for little girls. So many girls are coerced or manipulated into dressing like this instead of being left alone. Little girls should be concerned about playing with their dolls, watching Disney princess movies, and having playdates with their friends. It's also low-key creepy. She's saying, why is modesty on a child questioned more than immodesty? I really feel scared to even ask what she means by that. Immodesty on a child? What could that possibly mean? What does that look like? Does she mean dressing a child like a regular child? Meaning shorts and a t-shirt? Wearing a 2-piece swimsuit? Or is she referring to something more sinister here? I mean, I get out there in the world every day and run errands, shop, etc. I don't recall ever seeing a 5-year-old child dressed immodestly. This clothing unintentionally sexualizes children, not the other way around, because why would they have to be covered up unless someone was looking at that child inappropriately? It is so creepy to sexualize children like this. Pause. If you're enjoying my modest hijab summer clothing trends video, you'll love our other videos. My husband and I are working together on some amazing stuff, so don't miss it. Subscribe now and leave a comment telling us what's your worst hijab experience you've had. All right, back to the video. The unamusing amusement park experience. Like so many other previous points, you are going to see how Muhammad's dress code comes in clutch to ruin a fun day yet again. Most young girls and women that go to amusement parks usually dress comfortable, meaning they wear clothes that are functional. If you're this hijabi, going to an amusement park is an entire operation of do's and don'ts, and generally making your experience limited, unpleasant, and difficult to say the least.
Things I cannot do at an amusement park.
Let go.
As a Muslim woman, amusement parks can be a struggle because, as you know, amusement parks have rides. Rides are roller coasters, and roller coasters are fast. And winds don't agree with my headscarf because they always tend to fly off. So there are things that I won't do when I go to amusement parks. Let's talk about it. Wear my headscarf the way I'm wearing right now. This is not a good style to wear on a roller coaster. Nothing is pinned up. Nothing is doing anything. So many times my hijab almost flew off.
How do you keep it from falling off?
I was holding on to this for my dear life. Wear a dress. I used to wear dresses on roller coasters and it just didn't work because the seatbelt would have to come up and I'd have to lift my dress up. Play carnival games. There's actually a difference of opinion on it. Some scholars say that it's considered gambling.
Is that why you're not playing?
Nah, I just don't win at this. Sit next to a guy.
How do you avoid
I
that?
sit next to you.
What if I'm not there?
Then I don't go. Eat ice cream.
Why? Is that not allowed for you?
Nah, it's just too messy in a face veil. Single rider's line for obvious reason because I can only sit beside certain people. Whenever I go on a ride, I have to make sure that I take my family member or my husband with me.
Eating because finding halal food is not easy.
Get a caricature of myself because we follow the opinion that we can't draw faces, so this would be a no-no.
But you look better like that.
Hey, take pictures with fans.
Of course we can. Hi.
Being a hijabi or a niqabi in the summer is not for the faint of heart, guys. It's something that will severely limit the normal experiences of other women. Things that should be easy to figure out, like whether or not to buy an ice cream cone, riding a roller coaster, playing a carnival game, or even sitting next to a stranger on a ride, become this big debacle. This is your future, ladies. If you want to go to an amusement park with your husband, kids, or even a friend, it's a landmine of navigating the probability of your hijab or niqab flying off, So if your niqab or hijab is going to fly up or off, it's probably best to avoid any ride where this could possibly happen. There's so many rides that are not roller coasters where this could happen. Also, swimming even becomes problematic. Look at this video where this same influencer voluntarily waterboarded herself in a lazy river.
I went swimming in a public pool and this happened.
I usually don't go to public pools because that would mean I would have to keep my face veil on, and it's really hard to swim in that. But I did go to this one public pool and they had a lazy river, and that lazy river had a waterfall. Now, I didn't know how hard that waterfall would be falling down. I thought it was just a normal waterfall because I've been through those before in a veil and it's fine. This one came crashing down, so when I went through it, my veil started like sticking to my face. So I had to take my veil off for a few seconds just to breathe, and then I put it back on. Luckily, the lifeguard was female and there was no one around except for this guy. So yeah, it was hard to swim with the face veil on.
But do you think women should be allowed to wear the face veil at the pool?
Of course, just don't do what I did and don't go through waterfalls.
So would you do it again?
Of course I would. I just wouldn't take the waterfall route.
What if there were a bunch of men around when you lifted your veil?
It doesn't matter at that point. My life is more important.
But what if they like what they saw?
I don't care. I'm married.
We actually did a short about this same video, guys, and you know what? It's actually very unsafe to dress like this in the water, and it makes swimming become more difficult because when the fabric gets wet, it'll actually drag in the water, become heavier, and weigh you down. Wearing a niqab like this in the water can create a weight on your face when wet, restrict your breathing, and cause you to panic. To be honest, so much of her fashion advice is quite dangerous. I was doing some research for this video, and I found a few articles where women drowned wearing dresses in the water. In 2012, there was this viral trend called trash the dress. Basically, instead of carefully preserving your wedding dress and saving it as an heirloom piece, some women took it upon themselves to be filmed ruining it. Well, a woman in Quebec by the name of Maria Pantazopoulos wanted to be filmed trashing her dress in a river. She hired a photographer to take photos of this event. She started by soaking her dress in a waterfall, but things went tragically wrong almost immediately. Maria got pulled under the water by the weight of her dress, and she drowned and died. The bride was dragged down as deep as 8 meters, after which Pagakis dove in an attempt to rescue her. Despite reaching his client, however, he found the dress too heavy to pull back up to the surface. She had her wedding dress on and said, "Take some pictures of me while I swim a little bit in the lake." She went in and the dress got heavy. "I tried everything I could to save her," Pagakis later told CTV News in a devastating interview. "I jumped in. I was screaming and yelling. We tried our best." I don't think most people, let alone Muslim women, consider the dangers of wearing clothing like this in swimming pools, oceans, or lakes. They think it's cute to post online how pious and modest they are compared to the kuffar women who wear swimwear that's safe. They think that they are doing this for Allah and Allah is protecting them, but Allah must have failed to mention that waterlogged fabric drags and it becomes very heavy in water. This level of modesty isn't protecting women. It's actually dangerous, potentially lethal, and it needs to be talked about. We've gone through a few different scenarios in this video where dressing modestly makes your life harder, makes your life generally miserable and not fun, and can even kill you. Does this get any better though? Nope, it doesn't, guys. So far, we've seen women try to create tents out of their clothes to picnic in, try to read a book while legally blind, and avoid pretty much every ride, food, and form of fun at an amusement park. Let's go to the beach now and see what kind of special hell it becomes trying to go to a serene environment like the ocean. The beach should be a place of calm and relaxation, but the hijab will make life a living hell in this way too. And Medina TV is going to perfectly describe this hell for us.
This is how I dress to the beach. As a Muslim woman, I cover from head to toe. So going to the beach is not the easiest for me, especially when it comes to wearing the outfit at the beach. When I'm looking for a beach outfit or a pool outfit, I have to make sure that it's something that doesn't stick to my body. So as you can see, what I'm wearing today is this long dress that goes down to my ankle, and then I have like pants under it. The cool thing is that it comes with this really huge hijab that goes over my head. So it's very modest. It covers everything. Oh my gosh.
The windy giving face reveal.
Okay, but what if we were the only 2 people at the beach? Would you have to wear that?
So I would take my veil off, but I would still dress modestly, regardless of whether somebody's at the beach or not. Even in front of women, I dress modestly. Like, I would dress like this even in front of other women, including my mom.
So there's basically no way you can come to a beach and wear like a regular bathing suit.
Even if I wanted to, I don't think I could. I'm not used to it.
Can you go underwater?
No, not with my veil on. Tried the veil on thing, it just doesn't work.
Can you go snorkeling in the veil?
I don't know, I haven't attempted it yet.
Well, now's your time to shine, honey. Yeah, you're Darth Vader.
Don't do this if you're a veiled woman. No.
What a great way of life, guys. Blink twice if you're actually trying to convince women to take the hijab off Medina TV, because you're being way more honest than the majority of these influencers are being, and I have to thank you for that. Didn't she just explain to us that she can't wear the niqab underwater because she got waterboarded in a lazy river, but now she's trying to make her life even worse by attempting to snorkel in this? You just can't make this stuff up, guys. There's so many ways dressing like this can go wrong, especially at a beach. If the current is strong, water and salt is going to become trapped in this fabric and the other layers, and it's going to make resistance more difficult, even if you're a fit and strong swimmer. If you fall and get sucked under the current, this is easily a lethal way to end your vacation. There's also debris in the ocean, such as seaweed, coral, and rocks. Imagine your abaya or niqab getting entangled in this, and the fabric is so heavy and waterlogged that you can't break free. Not to mention that these jilbabs can be very expensive. In this next clip, labeled "Struggles Only Muslim Women Understand," she's going to talk about how much she struggles to do normal things at the beach. Things the rest of us don't have to think twice about or consider a problem.
Struggles only Muslim women understand. Beach edition. Shopping for swimwear is never easy. Finally found something modest. But what is this? Gotta find something online. I cover my feet, so I usually need water shoes for beaches. The waves took away one of my sandals here.
Don't show my feet.
Do sunglasses and veil even work?
Is the hat helping you at all?
Keeps me from looking at the sun, but it's a hijabi struggle. Don't wear a bun when you need to wear a hat.
Always have to stay in shallow water. Can't go underwater in a veil. Eating in a veil at the beach ain't easy. So I use a tent.
I have full privacy.
Tried snorkeling, but that didn't work out.
Don't do this if you're a veiled woman.
Them baby hairs sticking out even at the beach.
I have sand in places I didn't even know sand could go.
Let's wring out the dress. The wind doesn't like me.
What do you do when it's windy like this?
Hold onto my veil for my dear life. What else would I do?
Oh no, a face reveal's coming in 3.
No!
Honestly, oh my god, all of this is so sad. I feel embarrassed to say this, but I used to wear a burkini at the pool. I wore a proper burkini made by Muslim women for Muslim women. And let me tell you, it was still awful to wear. When I try to imagine myself dressing like her, full abaya, pants, niqab, hijab, and even water shoes, I feel so suffocated. If this is what you have to do to exist in public, it's probably not even worth it to leave the house. But to be honest, this is what so many Muslim men want for us anyways. So we would just be appeasing them by not going out into the world and trying to enjoy life. That's why you see so many Muslim women just standing by the side of the water while their husband and kids swim. The struggle of buying anything modest as a hijabi is mentally exhausting and extremely frustrating. In the beginning of the video, she shows what appears to be a swim cover-up, like a dress you would put on over a regular bathing suit, and it has slits in it. There you go. This is the struggle of dressing like this. You can't go to a normal store, like a normal woman, and just pick up something off the rack and buy it. No, every piece of Western clothing you find has issues with it. It either has slits, holes, or cuts in places on the body that need to be covered, which is basically everywhere. There are some solutions to this, such as layering your clothes, but that's exhausting too because you are now layering your clothes and the goal is to be covered and as cool as possible, not add more layers to make yourself hot. In the past, I did some research into this, and honestly, the only fabric that is truly cooling in the summer is linen, and buying pure linen clothes is extremely expensive. Look at what she has to go through to eat too. She's trying to sit in a beach chair and eat, but this so-called liberating modesty is making that quite difficult for her. So she has to haul an entire tent to the beach to retreat and eat in. She clearly didn't learn about the jilbab tent that we saw earlier in this video. It's so sad to watch her wring out her abaya because it's waterlogged. Those clothes are literally not made for the water, and they get waterlogged and can drag, as I've mentioned before. So it's like, if you're not going to wear something suitable for swimming, why wear clothes that are going to become ruined in the ocean? The salt is going to make the fabric become stiff as well. I just don't understand how this is supposed to be praised. Make it make sense, guys. On top of being covered in sand and drenched in water, she can't even enjoy standing in a few feet of water without worrying about her next issue, which is the wind blowing her hijab around. So she has to cling on to it for dear life. If she was wearing a hat or just had her hair in a ponytail, she wouldn't have to awkwardly stand in the water while trying to prevent her hijab from flying away. Dressing like this creates so many issues that I just can't see how any of this suffering is something God would want for women. In conclusion, Islam places all of the burden on women and just makes life tougher for women rather than asking men to behave decently no matter how women dress. The modesty promoted in Islam is archaic and redundant, made to cater to Muhammad's vision of insecurity rather than what's fair and decent. Nothing about this is empowering. Muslim women suffer the most under Islam. Spirituality is not about covering your head or being invisible to society. Leave Islam behind. Life is better and more beautiful without it. If you enjoyed this video, give your thanks to our YouTube members and our patrons for supporting us. Please consider joining now or setting up a PayPal donation so that I can continue doing this full time and we can continue exposing these awful harms of this religion. Thanks for watching. This is Mrs. Friendly Ex-Muslim signing out.